Hi, Loretta Ferrucci here, the creator of the Ditch Diets for Good program. So before we go any further, I'm not going to be selling anything to anyone on this webinar. This is purely a training webinar. So why? Well, because I do want to grow my list. I do want to grow my presence on social media. I want to increase my reach. And webinars are a great way of reaching more people than what I can in the small town in which I live. So this particular topic I've chosen, why? Well, because nutrition and diet is a lifelong interest of mine. I'm a homeopath. I've been in practice for more than 20 years. I run a very lifestyle-oriented practice. I do believe that we have to remove the obstacles to cure before people can get better, and many of those obstacles to cure are lifestyle. We very seldom need medication, actually. Mostly, we need to just actually correct the environment in which we find ourselves. So how do we eat? How do we drink? What do we drink? How much do we sleep? How well do we control our stress? What are our relationships like? And so I'd like to discuss in this webinar everything that is pertaining to health. But what is really interests me more than anything else is that, you know what, health is not rocket science. We all know what we should be doing. We should be eating whole food, a lot of plant foods, drinking enough water, sleeping enough, exercising regularly, managing our stress, and having meaningful relationships. But that is hard to do. And what my interest is, why is it hard to do? Why do we keep on falling off the wagon? I've done this 100 times. I've lost the same 15, 20 kilograms, probably 10 times in my lifetime, all right? And I've still got some of them to go. And in my practice, I see people get better, they're sick, they are motivated to get better because they feel awful, and then the better they feel, the less motivated they become, and eventually they fall off the wagon. And the same things that make them sick, those are the habits that they revert to. So why do we do this? And that's really what I've devoted a large part of my life and study to in the last probably 10 years. And I've discovered that there's a different way of doing it. There is a different way of actually getting ourselves to health, and that does not include punishing ourselves there. You know, young children, in order for them to thrive, or pets, in order for them to thrive, they need to be nourished. They thrive when they're nourished optimally, and that means enough attention, enough water, enough sleep, enough of all of those things. But continuously punishing them does not actually elicit thriving, which is really what we want. So why do we do that in terms of nutrition and lifestyle? Why do we put ourselves on punitive diets? Why do we give our power away to some external authority that tells us what the latest way to eat or not eat, or fast or dry fast or wet fast or no fast or keto or carbs? Seriously, why do we give our power away? Now, I'm not negating any of those methods, and I'm not saying that any of those things, don't have any value. Of course they do. But what we've been doing, or what I've certainly been doing, and what I've been doing with my patients, is I've been imposing an outside-in system on them. And I believe that the only way we can have lasting change in any habit, whether it's about saving money or saving your relationships or increasing your intimacy, or in my case, my interest is improving your health, the only way to do that sustainably is if we can keep the habits going. And what is it that prevents us from keeping the habits going? And the only way we can keep the habits going is if we're inspired from within to actually do them. And so that's really what this webinar is about. This webinar is a training webinar where we speak about digestion, we speak about how the unconscious affects our autonomic nervous system and how that affects your physiology. We speak about the role of emotions, and we speak about the myths that surround the diet and nutrition industry, or certainly the myths from my point of view. And we uncover those myths, and we discuss a different way of doing. How would we do it if we were going to change the way we viewed our health from the inside out, rather than having someone from the outside tell us what we need to do? So this is about, it's about a journey, really. It's about discovery, and this is my very first webinar, so I'm very excited. I'm of course terrified as well, because I'm scared that I can't work the technology. So this is my first webinar. I'm hoping it's not going to be a disaster. I've done lots of public presentations. I can do the whole public speaking thing. The technology thing is the thing that makes me feel a bit but I'm looking forward to it. And so I hope that you will register and that you will join me. And of course, there will be a section for Q&A. So I would love to get your comments. I'd love to get your feedback. I'd love to interact with you. I'd of course like you not to say horrible things, but if you move to do that, that's also okay. I'm a big girl. I think I can take it. So I'd love for you to register. I'd love for you to be there. I'd love for you to participate. I'd love for you to tell me where you're from and all those things. And I'd love for you to explore an alternative way of how you can get your health goals met that doesn't include punishment. It doesn't include punishing restrictive diets, punishing exercise programs, and basically beating yourself up in order to make yourself healthy. I hope to see you there.